Hi, Frugal Forager here, back for my second video, and in this series, I guess we're calling it Black Walnut Foraging Made Easy. This is the second video in the series. If you watched the first video, we went out and we collected up some black walnuts from an area that the husks were already knocked off them. If you've ever foraged black walnuts before, as you know, they got a really tough husk on them, and that was one of the reasons why I kind of quit going out and getting them, is because they were so hard to deal with. You brought them home, then you had to get the husk off them, then you had to crack them open and get the meat out, and that was a lot of work. Well, through the years I found a couple of easy things that some tricks that make it really easy to do, and you don't have to spend any money. You can do it with just regular household stuff that you already have. If you watched the first video, you know we went out to a golf course where they were pushing the walnuts off the golf course, and number one, they were kind of piling them up into a big pile. Well, not only does that make them really easy to get to because they're all piled up right there for you, but they also kind of helped agitate some of that husk off of a lot of them when they did that. And if you go out later in the fall, when the husk is already starting to turn brittle and fall off, what you find is a lot of them are just laying around with the husks already off them. And all you do is go around and pick them up and put them in a bucket. I filled a bucket full here, and I've already done one batch where I got them hanging up here in a, you save your potato sacks and you can put them in there. Makes a really good place to store them because they'll get air circulating. Those there, I brought them home and I made a container to wash them in. You put them in took an empty milk jug and rinsed it out and cut the top off. Left the handle on so you got something to hold on to. Put your dirty walnuts in there, and these will have some, since they were laying out on the ground without the husks, they get some dirt and stuff on them. But anyway, you put water in there and just agitate them around a little bit, dump them out, and on a hard surface where you get some good sun and airflow, and they'll dry out. And then the first batch I did, I put them in a little Ziploc baggie here after they all dried out, and these are my clean ones, ready to crack. And so instead of going out and buying the fancy husking machine to husk them for you when you get them home, you go out and you get them already husked. The biggest trick here is to wait until later in the season. You get late November, middle of November, and a lot of times there's a lot of them laying around, especially if you find a place where they've been mowing or they've pushed them off a golf course. Any place where along a trail where people have been walking on them, that's a good place. Or where they collect in the road and people drive over them, that's another good place to find the ones that are already husks. And you just pick them up and put them in your bucket and bring them home. Wash them, of course. Then to crack them open, all you need is a regular bench vise. Instead of going out and buying you, they do make black walnut crackers. You don't need to go out and spend the money if you got a bench vise already, and it works really good. You take the tips. There's a couple of tips on each end, and that's kind of where the seam runs, back and forth parallel to those tips. You put the tips in the jaws like so. You just give them a squeeze. You don't have to go too far. You'll hear it crack right there. And see how it split right in half. What you want to do is go 180 degrees, put it back in, and give it another little squeeze. And when you open it up, you'll see you got black walnut meat just falling right out of there. Pretty good sized pieces. You have a bowl ready for those. Then you can put the shell in another bowl. And if you get some pieces that are kind of stubborn and won't come out of there, just fall right out. And there's another piece, just fell right out. You just put those in that bowl. Save them for later. You can go in with a nut pick and pick those apart. For the most part, if you get really good at this part of it, you can get a lot of pretty big pieces out. Just right here. And you always want to have your bowl handy. Put those in. The main thing you want to do is try to avoid getting shells in there, because they're kind of hard to distinguish between the nuts. And if you get those in something, these are really, really hard. So that was another reason why I kind of discouraged from collecting black walnuts. Is they're hard to, really, really hard to crack. So you're going to put a lot of pressure on that. Just turn it 180. Put another little crack. See how that one came out? Pretty big chunks there, just ready to fall out. So that's the second video. Show you how to get them out of there easily without spending a lot of money. And the next video I make, we're gonna show you how to use them. I'll go in the kitchen and we'll do a recipe for you and show you a really neat way to cook them up, and not spend a lot of money doing that either on ingredients. So thanks for watching my second video, and I hope you enjoyed it and got a little bit out of it. Show you how to forage for black walnuts. Oh, there, see, I got a little shell. That's not good. Pretty crunchy. You can break a tooth. And thanks for watching.